Hey everybody, it's Dave Robles with Think Real Estate, bringing you episode 7 of the Great California Corona Staycation show. And as you can see, look at that, looking better, aren't I? Shaved, put on some nice threads, and you're probably wondering why. Well, today's episode calls for it. Let me tell you. I know I've been bringing you pretty lighthearted information all week. Today, we're going to take a little bit more of a serious tone and speak to someone that we all need to hear from. And I'm talking about our licensed family therapist, Gabrielle Klatsky, is joining us to give us some tools on how we can deal with the anxiety of coronavirus, of being quarantined in your home, and the financial issues that might be coming as a result of all this. So let's hear from Gabrielle. Hello, everybody. It's Dave Robles with Think Real Estate, and I am here today with Gabrielle Klatsky. She is a licensed marriage and family therapist with a practice in Silver Lake and in Encino. And she's here to share with us tips on how we can handle the emotional aspect of what we're going through with coronavirus and being in a quarantine situation. Gabriella, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. No, I was just I was just thinking the topic, right, is what to do about it. Is there, a magic button to press that makes everything just feel good? I don't know. There are moments of that, but of course there isn't an easy fix to this,
Be nice if there was.
Yes, it would be really nice. But so I think one way to deal with the fact that for some people there's a lot of anxiety and uncertainty, and it feels so big. And so one way to just start to get a handle on that, I think, is to really identify what it is for you, for each individual person, to name what is going on. So there are a couple of major categories that, and your stuff might be different, but let's just start with kind of the big headlines, right? Which is fear, right? People are afraid for their own health, for the health of their loved ones, for the community, for whether it's safe to go outdoors, right? So that's one category. There is also, of course, financial insecurity. The bills still have to be paid, and the inflow is, for many people, very uncertain right now. And there's all this sort of this feeling of, how do I fix it? What can I do? And we are accustomed to being able to take action. And suddenly some of those paths have been cut off. So the first thing is just to identify which thing it is. And, it may be bleeding into other areas of your life, like your relationships. Particularly, many people are now, we're all at home with people, and usually we have some breaks and there aren't as many breaks. And so the anxiety and the frustration may flow into that. So it's good to just sit down and identify, what am I actually worried about?
Right.
I think just to name it just helps to identify, okay, now is this something that I can do something about, or is this something that I have to just acknowledge I have to wait and see? So there is really an aspect to all of this of just acknowledging that we are in a space of the unknown. And it's not something that culturally we're very good at.
No.
But it's something that we're being tested with now, right? And there is a growth opportunity here because just noticing what it is and naming it and saying, okay, there's something, I can't figure this out right now, and I'm going to sit with these feelings and just notice that they're there. But the fact that I can't fix it doesn't have to overwhelm me. Ordinarily, my action would be to try and fix it. But now I'm just going to acknowledge there are unknowns that I can't address right now.
Right.
So the other thing I want to just mention also in that whole idea of how relationships are tested is, in addition to relationships with our people, whether it's because we're too close or too far away from them, relationship to self is also having some new experiences because, there's more time to notice have time alone, regrets of like, oh, if I'd done that and I wish I'd done this, or, you know, to refine our own values. So there's actually an opportunity there to go to say, well, what is it that I wish I had done differently, and what are my values, and am I living according to my values? So there's just that opportunity also to just look at relationship with self.
Right.
So, okay, that's all just kind of naming it. What about how to manage it? So one big source of just the repeated anxiety is the news coming in, I think. And so I'm just offering the suggestion to look at your news diet and what you're letting in and how much of it you're letting in, and just decide whether it's serving you or not. And if it just is producing this feeling of like more and more and more and I can't handle it, I think just bring yourself back to the space that you're in, to what is within your immediate realm of control, and, you know, just the here and now. So, you know, and the news may be coming from news sources, or from social media, or from the people that are around you. And you may just need to say, that's enough for today.
Yeah, I have a friend who was watching the daily update on the news coming from the president. And after that, she was upset for, you know, and she would post on social media about it. And she realized herself, like, you know what, I'm not watching that anymore.
Yeah.
Not helping me. It's just giving me anxiety.
Right. Yeah. So it's not maybe realistic to cut off from all of it, but just choose the stuff that, you know, feels like you're informed but isn't going to increase your anxiety. And then once you do listen to all of that, then you might have to figure out, okay, what can I actually do to get rid of this feeling in my body right now? And by the way, just to notice that anxiety is a feeling in your body. It's a physical state, right? So here are just some ideas of just some little things you can do. I'm going to start with breath, because for some people, particularly with anxiety, breath is not the first place that makes them feel good. But if breathing helps you to calm, then I would just start with just work, like slow your breath down, and just like close your eyes if you're comfortable with that, and just do some breathing to just let the anxiety go a little bit. And then I would say, okay, here are some ideas, right? We've got all this sort of uncertainty, and it's all very amorphous, and there's nothing concrete about it. So find something that's concrete, and I'm thinking just some touch, something where you can just like squeeze something. Play-Doh is awesome. You can find recipes online for Play-Doh. You can make it at home. And it's the thing we think of for kids, but actually it's really good for adults too, right? So just, you know, flour and water, cream of tartar if you have it, and some color, great. Otherwise, just find something to squeeze, right? Just to ground yourself, so that it's not this whole sort of feeling of being out of control. And then while we're in the body, let's also talk about just movement, like do some yoga, find a class online, exercise online, do sit-ups in your bedroom, go for a walk, just get your body moving, because that really helps to just, you know, help your body process all of the hormones that are flowing when you have it, you know, in an anxious state. I'm thinking also it might be nice to use this opportunity to make something, you know, just to have some, you know, even if you don't think of yourself as a creative person, maybe particularly if you don't think of yourself as a creative person, go find some magazines, cut out some pictures, whatever appeals to you. You don't even have to question what it is or why it appeals to you. If it's color, if it's shape, if it's an idea of something you want, how about a vision board, right? It's a very easy craft project. It doesn't have to be pretty. It's just for you. It's just a way of noticing what's going on, and of helping you to kind of refine your values a little bit, because as you think about what you're attracted to and what you're not attracted to.
Right.
And then one final thing I would add to that list is to connect. So really, everybody is feeling the distance right now. And for some, actually, you know, it's kind of nice to have this time alone. And then there's also a need to want to share in this whole thing. So think about how you're sharing, because some people it's too much to have everybody to hear everybody's problems, but find the people that you really want to connect to, and and just reach out a little bit, whether it's video or phone or text, just to connect to others, because it's hard to be alone in all of this. And then I just want to say also, these are just some low-hanging fruit,
Right.
just random ideas. For people who are really struggling, if you are really struggling, reach out. This is a great time to think about therapy. A lot of therapists are doing online sessions right now, video or phone sessions. So that is something that's very available. And, whether it's because you're struggling now, or you've just been thinking, maybe this is something I should try. You're at home, you got time. It might be, you ask a therapist, that's what a therapist is going to say.
Right.
It actually, I think, is a path to joy ultimately. So,
I think everybody can benefit from a good therapist.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of it in my history, and I've always walked away thinking, I'm glad I did that.
Yeah. It can be scary if you haven't done it before, but it's one of those things where you just take the first step, and then once you're in it, any good therapist is going to make you feel better as soon as you're in it. So
if someone wanted to reach out to you, would that be okay? How could they do that?
Sure. So I have a website, gabrielleklatsky.com. So yes, I'm happy to talk to anybody, whether they want to talk to me as a therapist or they just want suggestions about how to get started. But yeah, I can do therapy with anyone in the state of California. So, and I'm doing video sessions at the moment. So yeah. And then there's also, there are lots of other resources in your communities too. So reach out. Psychology Today is a good resource, to just the online website, to find people that are doing it in your area. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, this was really wonderful. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are feeling anxious about this, and if there are tools out there for them, like the ones you just laid out, use them. If people just need to I guess, identify their problem and take the steps that you outlined right here, and you might just feel better in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye. All right. Well, I feel better already just hearing about the steps I can take right from Gabrielle Klatsky, and I hope you feel better too. So there you go. If you have any questions or you'd like information on how to meet Gabrielle, the information's all below if you'd like to get in touch with her. And if you have any questions for me, please do that too. Thank you for joining us. See you soon.